get fixed.
Okay,
Is Sue coming for the gun shooting thing? Gunpowder vote?
probably not.
I just,
Uh,
other than her email, I don't really.
Yeah.
Just fire one shot.
Right. I'm going to call the meeting to order again, just in case we all missed that online. It's 6:00, August 17th. Board of Selectmen meeting. We've got a short agenda tonight. Public forum, appointments, election worker compensation for new business, as well as permission from the Sons of American Revolution to perform a gunpowder only volley and the recognition of the Anna Voigt Ridingsvard of the Daughters of the American Revolution at the Central Cemetery. Discussion regarding posting of no trespassing signs and notices at 91 River Street. An executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, 21A, Clause 3, pending litigation, discussion of a settlement agreement. So is that a public forum?
Carry on.
Okay, there is no one in the audience. Take note. Do we have any appointments tonight?
No.
We have no appointments. Okay. We will jump right into new business. We have a document here from the town clerk about election poll workers, the compensation. Requesting that you approve an increase to the compensation for the election poll workers based on the minimum wage rate that went into effect January 1st, 2020. Compensation for election officers determined by the Board of Selectmen under 54:22. Should not have an increase on her budget and is not out of line with other communities. Let's see. Requesting $14.25 per hour for the election workers, including ballot clerks and inspectors. And the Warren and Deputy Warren would get $17 per hour. Do you have any input on this? No?
The state,
Seems like it's in order.
Yeah.
what's the state minimum wage? It's
13 something.
13.25, I think. What were they at before?
They were like $11, $12, I think. We did an increase, I think the year before last, and dropped them up to 12 something.
Okay,
Yeah, the last increase was in 2020.
okay.
So I only have one. Does the advisory board looped in on this?
No.
No,
It's in your, it's the
up to
selectmen have
us.
special control.
Yeah, the
Okay.
statute is short, and puts it all in your.
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either. It's not that often and it's
No.
not a big increase. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This needs 3 signatures. Here on the bottom. Okay, very good. Next on the agenda is the permission to use gunpowder volley for the Daughters of American Revolution at the Central Cemetery. So again, I guess this is the discharge of firearms. This is technically
Let me see if
qualify as a discharge of firearms.
Let me see if I can find that email since she's not here.
Yeah,
Thought there was a specific date.
Yeah, I actually thought she was going to be here, but she's emailing me about the meeting earlier
Hmm.
today. I reminded her to be in person since.
no,
No problem with it.
well, maybe she's on her way. I mean, we can bump this 2 minutes down if you want.
If I can find it. Here we go.
Yeah. So sort of, when we do the Memorial Day parade,
We don't really ask the neighbors for permission.
We don't.
Now,
No.
right over at the corner of 113, right there, right next to that house, because of the
Mm.
memorial that's there.
but it's also never come before, at least to my knowledge, come before the Board of Selectmen.
I've
for them
never
to
heard
do
of that
either.
happening.
But according, I think this email that Sue Solidakis.
So, yeah, so there's the event on September 19th. They're recognizing this person and they want to fire their muskets.
I guess it's an irregular day compared to Memorial Day, which is sort of
Yeah,
the expectation. So maybe it being a different day, it's worth just having it recognized properly.
I'm not opposed to it happening. I think,
Yeah,
you know,
it's nice to commemorate and memorialize folks that have served.
I'm okay with it too, although I don't know why they need the BOS, huh? sign off.
There was
on that.
some, obscure reference to a statute that says, you know, if you're gonna fire a gun on public property, you need the selectmen's permission.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever formally do that with Memorial Day.
I don't,
think we did.
maybe it happened once 40 years ago and it just was in perpetuity. So,
Do we have to notice neighbors or anything? No. Oh, so Madam Chair, I'm going to motion that we approve this. Daughters of the, Sons and Daughters of the American Revolution,
okay,
black powder discharge.
okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? There being none, all's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, good. Discussion regarding posting of no trespassing signs on 91 River Street. I think that would be a good idea, as well as I think a gate would be nice. Though I know there's complications about that with having a lock and a key, but you know, even if you don't put a lock on it, just having a gate means you have to get out and get in and out, which sometimes people don't want to do that because it makes it more.
I don't know that we use it that often. I don't think it's not burning out of there every day, or somebody would have to go out there every day and close the gate. And they're just gonna keep the gate locked, and when the
Yeah.
police go out there to do something, or DPW goes to get equipment out of the barn.
They use it the most, and then, you know, the Nickel Tree Works is the one who does the town, for the most part, does the town tree work, and they have permission to use that when it's town trees being removed. That could certainly be orchestrated and coordinated through the,
Yeah, I mean, you can give the
Highway.
tree warden a key, or give Toby a key. and
Yeah.
Let him in when he's doing work.
yeah. There is an extra gate at the water, the
There is an
well.
extra gate.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Have it moved.
You could have it, use that.
But you could still get in there from the Patna pumpkin patch.
You have
Cut
any,
through.
you have any thoughts about,
Somebody told me.
You're
that
putting a
the
gate up
state
over in-
recently
at
put up
91 River?
barriers to
Oh, really?
ATVs.
I'm sorry, I got
Yeah.
here late.
No,
I
no,
haven't-
that's okay.
I haven't gone out and walked it, but somebody was telling me that the state put ATV barriers up on their side of the property.
On
So
the
with Dana
Patna.
River Street,
yeah,
so with the rail trail or? I'm new
No,
this.
to the town property, the house there in the barn, 91 River. The
you're
access
talking
road.
about putting a gate in. Do the guys go in there?
So my guys actually do win their quite a bit.
Yeah,
Would a gate, like honestly, yeah, I actually think it's probably a good idea.
okay.
I mean, if we have the ability and we have the infrastructure to pay for it, yeah.
We have a gate
We
at
ha-
the wells.
If you took that
The
issue
water road.
away,
There actually used to be down at the water department, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a gate.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well said.
Mm.
if you took that issue away, right, the money and the gate issue, is there any patrol issues that would be an impairment with these guys?
No, I don't think so. So we definitely have that property inside of our purview to patrol every night.
Mhm.
So it's like it's on our list of one of our checks. So my guys are definitely in there every night.
Mhm.
We'll go in there, we make the loop because of the barn.
Yeah,
And so what happens with the barn is down there is there's highway property and we have some of our property there as well.
yeah,
So we absolutely keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
So-
Because there are ATVs riding through there and dirt bikes, and we suspect people are, landscaping people are dumping stuff.
I mean, people are also using the canoe launch. I know people who have, like, it's a great spot to launch the canoe.
But that's okay.
I don't have a problem with that, but
I think that's actually a great
Yeah.
segue to this, is that do we lock this up so people can't go down in canoes? That's a great point.
a part of me says yes, because there's potential liability and danger from them screwing around or whatever, getting stuck and having.
And like, I'm a big kayaker, and like honestly, like buying that property out of North Main Street from, Mr. Drew was amazing for me. I kayaked down there like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I guess my biggest concern was, is it going to stop people? And now knowing that there's gates or barriers down on the Patna pumpkin farm makes me feel better about it, but people can still get there if they really try on their horses or for whatever mechanized vehicles they're using, but
well, I guess I would simply say is that we definitely patrol it. So my initial thought was in fact to make sure that we had a gate there, but now that you've said that people actually utilize it with their kayaks. canoes,
yeah, which is still trespassing.
They're-
In that current lens, it is trespassing, but
Well, it's town-owned property, so
Yeah.
people,
But if we're gonna post something, and that even if they're doing it in a nice way, they're just planting flowers, let's say.
Yes,
Yeah.
just like-
As soon as the sign
Yeah.
goes up, it forbids it.
yeah,
I have this ability, this is something that we can lock on. At like 8 o'clock at night.
Maybe do we lock
You
larger?
have the time to
I
go out
mean,
there and do when you do it, you can do it when you do
I,
it.
don't get me wrong, we are definitely busy, but I don't want people into managing, locking it up for the weekend or whatever it might be. I mean, would the union be upset about that? Probably, because they don't want to do anything.
Well,
But
Let's give you a hypothetical on that, right? Appreciate you volunteering, but say you go down there to lock it up and somebody's out there with their kayak and their car's sitting down.
Brian, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Sticks
Now
with
what?
it, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're gonna have to go back.
That's actually
Yeah.
very perspective. That is-
Mhm.
You're totally right. Yeah.
You don't
Next
want
thing you know, we're getting all the guys right out there.
what's
So
interesting,
sketch that.
yeah.
I guess maybe it's a sign that says no trespassing after dark.
And we continue to monitor.
Yeah, and this is a police monitored
So I
site.
will say this, so I read the logs, when I come in on Monday, I read the logs, my guys have been out there probably like 3 or 4 times. We are out there, we make the loop.
Have you had issues?
No,
The thing that concerns me the most is people dumping material in there.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern, and that probably is happening during the day.
so we put it down there, is it?
Well, wood chips, it's like become a dumping ground for landscapers.
So.
Have you seen the pile of wood chips out
to.
there?
Put a camera.
One of those hunting cams in there.
I was gonna say, yeah, put a camera on the house with a little solar
Yeah.
hook up into it. I mean, I have one of those for my beehive where it just hooks up, it catches it. And so I'm like, all right, I want to know if the black bears running around the neighborhood.
You Just do a wildlife camera.
No, you can put a camera on the garage,
live,
on the
yeah.
barn. No, you can't do that.
What do you want to talk about? Wanna bring it up, Scott?
Okay,
Let's figure that out.
So I think a camera maybe that, rather than spend money on infrastructure and a gate, I'd rather just put a camera up on the top corner of the house pointing at the roadway. So I'm fine with,
The house is
people
pretty
use-
far away, but
what's that again?
the house is pretty far from people coming in.
is the house torn down?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, house is there. So is the garage.
The barn's gonna stay, but
Well,
the
the barn
house
they
gets
use.
demolished.
But that, I mean, the house isn't going anywhere with our budget the way it is right now. Anyway,
No, the
it's gonna be
house-
$5,000.
We have money to demo. the
We have
house.
money for this, but money was designated to 30 grand.
But we haven't used it yet, right? So we're just sort of sitting on it, so it's,
Well, no,
But it's,
there's an active contract.
all right.
Come back soon.
Yeah.
So the money came from the sale, so it sits in that account.
yeah, it's
It was not
dedicated funds
appropriated
for
2
that.
years ago.
Yeah.
Then put it on the corner of the barn. looking at the
But the
driveway.
barn
Yeah, you
has,
can find some place to put the camera. but it's not-
the barn has electricity. And the barn also has a phone.
We pay for a phone number.
No, I don't think we have I don't think
Oh, there's a connection, but it's
there's
not
a
active.
phone there, but right, you have to have it active.
It's a structural breakdown, it really is, like, I think that, retain that and maintain that.
Maybe it's signs for now. And
I think we do the signs, and put the video camera up, and if the video camera shows you got more problems down there, you can try and address it in a more targeted fashion. Or we just putting a gate up.
That's something we investigate, like I can certainly, granted, we may be busy, but we can certainly structure, additional controls in there for like a period of time.
Mhm.
We meet down there every hour, I can do that, like,
No,
Yeah.
I think the issue is mainly during the daytime. I do, I absolutely believe it's a daytime issue. I think the camera will put a camera up there and a sign telling you that you're under video surveillance. Put the thing up on the peak
And
up
so
on
I
the
would
roof.
do that, I think simply just saying it's a camera there, certain people will know that, and I can probably stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Have you been,
No,
have
that
you been
I,
in there lately?
Yeah, absolutely, yes, sir.
The chip piles,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's a mountain.
So is that chip pile,
And
is
who's
it
putting
all,
Who's putting those piles there? I can tell you who's putting them. If you like, and I will
but
not-
is it,
I
is
will
it,
not have that conversation right now, but I can tell you, I know who's putting them there.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
but is it
Mhm.
Are we okay with them putting it there if it's coming from a town project, or is there multiple piles?
It's okay if it's town.
It's tough
or-
to source.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
The wood.
yeah.
And if you ask me, I will create an answer for you inside of about a day. If you want my organization to investigate that and discover that, I will make a phone call literally right now. And I will have an answer probably by Thursday.
Go for it.
Okay.
The order has been made.
We work for you. My department works for you. So if this is something that's a problem, I will.
I think we got started on this because when we went through the ZBA hearings a couple months ago for the solar project, it
Yeah.
came to our attention that I think one of the butters was using their ATV, somebody else was riding a horse out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people from Chapman Street use it because it's great land to ride around on, but it's not the purpose of that parcel.
Sure.
Do you want me to do this up?
It's just data.
Yeah, I mean, it
Well, I
seems
mean,
like,
it's, something's gotta happen. There's a
this is not, this is
We
not,
certainly don't
a-
want people dumping out there.
it's not a dump ground. This is not, unless we make this legitimate, like compost towns
Well, it
area.
takes one
People
hazardous
should not
waste
be
bin
dumping
that gets
there.
tipped over into a wood chip thing, and then we got a
Yeah.
whole other
Right, I mean, who
weird
knows?
mini super fun site.
Because word gets out eventually, you know, someone starts dumping there during the day and the next people and then the next one. So-
I'd love to know where to bring my brush and stuff like that. I do it in my
bring it up
backyard like
there.
everyone else.
Ship it up.
You light it on fire in your yard, and you have a hot dog on a stick.
Well, I mean, I
That's
do that on
right.
occasion too.
That's right.
May or may not have a beer next to me helping me
Yeah,
lubricate my
exactly.
joints, but.
That's really up to you.
It's a hot dog, you pour gasoline on it first.
Yes.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with diesel hot dog.
Like my char grill.
Yeah.
So going back to
All right.
this, I think that we'll, if.
Yeah, I'll get the camera and the signs. I'll have some signs made up, that are
Yeah.
somewhat classy looking. And in the meantime, the chief will be tailgating someone around town, trying to figure out where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Probably just a phone call.
Yeah.
Okay.
something like that.
So the camera is gonna do what? How do we get the video out of it? If we wanna look, like right now, if I wanna look at my house, I
Yeah.
can look at my house, right?
I know that there are products out there, you can put a camera in it, it'll upload. But I don't know if we need power for that, but if
You
there's
do.
power at the barn,
Yeah,
just
I
find a
can,
way to plug
it's
it in.
not
and
a
wire it.
picture of, I'll put a receptacle up there for it.
Yeah, so it's gonna upload a video to a cloud and it'll activate from this motion.
Yeah, like mine clicks on when there's motion, and it takes like a 3-second.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when, if you,
I have a
if
battery
you
up
wanted
there,
to
just
go,
wildlife cam. You can do the same thing and just
Yeah.
pull a chip out of it.
oh, is that, all right, that's what
Get
I'm
an
asking.
SD
How do you
card. Yeah.
go, we wanna go look at what the camera has been seeing. How do we do that when we don't
You can
have?
go up there every 10 days and pull the chip out
Pull the
and
SD
replace it with
card
another
out.
one. So you have one empty one, one full one, just rotate them and
Yeah.
And you
can
bring
speed
the
up.
chip, what do you do with the chip? Bring it into a laptop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, most laptops will have a,
It's a little SD card now.
yeah,
Like this big.
Yeah, the little
Oh,
one.
yeah,
yeah, it's right on the side.
Oh, then just buy the camera. I'll put the thing up. I'll put a plug up there for it.
There's an
I'm
access
not, I got the house disconnected, but the
Yeah.
barn's not.
All right, well, I'll look around and see. what,
Dave wants to put a
I
light.
usually- well,
outside
mine's like
for
an
him, so I'm gonna do that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll throw that up for him.
Or maybe that's the SD card. one.
Oh,
That
for a
just goes
micro.
in there.
Yeah, yeah, just, and then,
It's like a USB card.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just take care of it with that, because I think in of itself, that will stop that problem. We put up signs over, we had a transfer station and people would dump them. We put signs up saying there's video surveillance. There's never been any video surveillance, but the dumping stopped.
They work, right? That just the signs work. I know we've had that
Okay.
protected property in DC.
Fine.
All right, executive session, do we need to go in there?
So we have the settlement agreement for Dr. Carr.
Okay,
Uh, I can
all right. Do we want to?
Resolution, it is in fact, nickel dumping chips down there.
Yeah,
He's dumping them from what Mike has just said was town jobs.
yeah, and that's fine. That's been the agreement all
I
along.
just thought.
Yeah. I suspect there's more going on there.
So I would suspect to you, this is what always happens, is that you have the ability to do that for the town job and then you do something else. You know, he was out here defending candies last week and dumped the chips. I don't know that, and I'm certainly not looking to blame anybody.
I mean, we have no way to monitor it, but I think there are other companies that are probably taking the liberties because the word's out. And it's open, and There are not a lot of people on that road. It's easy to just drive in quick. Anyway, all right, so let's go with the Cameron signs and see if we get any progress with
What
that.
happens, while we're talking about that, what should happen with that chip pile?
Typically, they,
Well, so what Mike just said to me, so I just called Mike, and apparently somebody's coming down there next month to actually remove all of that stuff.
and that's what's been the standard
Yeah,
procedure.
the person that does it was a kid that grew up here in town, Matt Kaiser. And he owns
Yeah.
a really big company where they do like a lot of this remediation of roots and woods and stuff like that. So I think he has a heartfelt kind of thing for the town. So he comes and he brings in this operation. It's absolutely insanity, but he's just a big company.
Yeah.
Comes in, he's here for 2 days, everything's done. So Mike's conversation with me, literally like a second ago, was in fact that they're gonna come here within a month and get rid of all that stuff.
Have you been there?
And then it starts over again. Yeah.
Have you seen the chip pile?
Yeah.
There's a road that goes to the top of the pile.
And I tell you, this kid Kaiser.
He's gonna take all those chips and there's
He
gotta be-
always has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I mean,
many
this has
18
been,
you can have like 3 or 4 triaxles coming out of it full of
I tell you,
chips.
this kid is like the real deal. and It's like nothing I've ever seen in my life.
wasn't it called like the Dirt Doctor or something like that? Or was that,
The root doctor. or
Root,
something.
yeah.
Yes, well, yes, yes.
What's he do with the chips?
So what they do is they generally sell them to power plants. and they
Oh,
have, like,
biomass.
Yeah, they have those trucks, they have
Yeah.
layers inside them. and
Yeah,
they-
yeah.
they let all out.
Yeah.
Just wild.
and that's fine. If that's,
He's a
I have,
local kid.
I have no
He
problem
grew
with
up-
that.
He grew up with Mike, so
Yeah.
I think really what he does is he comes in here and he probably does it just, like, we'll buy them, we'll sell it, it's like a break even thing for him.
Yeah.
Probably, I mean, I don't know that to be true, but.
I'm perfectly okay with whatever disposal process he has, but when I was up there, I don't belabor this discussion, and I saw that there was a road built to go to the top of the chip pile, and while I was there, Greenleaf came in and dumped chips at the top of the pile. And, yeah, Greenleaf was in there,
The
but you know
pile's
what?
grown
I'm-
since you and I were
So
out.
I,
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
is.
I'll go there after this. take a drive.
I stopped, I was there because I disconnected the electricity to the house. Because I want to tear it down, and they came in and they saw my truck and they stopped, and then they backed up that road going to the top of the chip pile and dumped and left, so. And the enormity of the pile when you drive around the back side of it is just like, it's 2 stories high.
So I'm gonna do this. I made a phone call, I'm happy to investigate it, we will do everything in our power to ensure this doesn't happen.
Why are you so anxious?
Just, I don't know who's done it, what. I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's unfair.
I will fix it, but I'm just telling you right now, we will not be comfortable for it.
There's also, I mean, there's also some trees that are there too.
Brian, would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
Leah, would you agree?
Yeah. Mhm.
Neither here nor there.
We all know something going on that we don't understand, and nor do we.
All right, well, let's do the signs in the camera. and,
Yeah.
you know,
You give me the word, and I will assure you that we didn't care inside of the day.
Okay,
That's what I do.
you fix, you're the fixer.
And I'm good at it.
Michael Clayton
Yes,
here.
All right, are we good
Yeah,
with this?
Not really, but-
Yeah. all
I think everybody's taking a big breath here.
Yeah.
And I think it's all gonna be laid on my shoulders.
Yeah,
Which
well,
is
we'll do this plan A first and then,
Before we jump to executive session, I had a couple of things from a couple of neighbors in town, if you want.
okay,
Is that the proper time for that?
sure,
right now?
let's do it.
I guess one was the idea of just getting us iPads or a tablet so we don't print as much paper. I know that some of the Rescue Act stuff could use some of that, and I know a couple other towns like Westford, I think, does that for their selectmen. I thought Groton was talking about it, but just an idea in terms of it's easier than you have to print out pages and pages of stuff, and if something changes and we have it at our fingertips.
So is it better to use paper than it is to use the element that is used in all these electronic devices that destroy other countries around the world?
That's a very deep question.
Yeah,
we go.
it is.
I don't know if the town, I don't know if the town council wants to hear that on record right now.
I think we've cut back significantly in the amount of paper. I mean, all the info can be sent to us.
Yeah,
Um,
it was just an idea that I know some other towns are doing it, and it's something that you can use the CARES Act money for, it's
Yeah,
technology. or the other.
we have money to use for, remote. it's up to you whether you want the device or not. You know, it'd probably be a little bit more money on our IT contract to set them up and, you know, if you have a problem from time to time.
I'm old school. I need to have my
I mean,
piece of paper
I've
and
had
pen,
boards that buy them and use them, and I've had boards that buy them and leave them at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, you
which
know,
I suspect I'd be guilty of that.
Yeah. All right. It's just
It's up to
an
you.
idea that I heard from
Yeah.
some other people. Interesting enough, shifting to that gear, NIMCOG forwarded the grants from T-Mobile for up to
Yeah, I
50K
saw
a
that.
year.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's something we've explored before, but I got it from the NIMCOG people.
yeah,
forwarded it
I
along.
looked at it, probably take a shot at it for something. I'm not sure what yet, but the first thing I thought of, as I said, historic, was the paint restoration on the
Yeah.
building across the street. And then I know you said something about a park project. I don't know what they have in mind, but.
Or just give it to the parks people and say, hey,
Yeah.
there's an opportunity to get a
Right.
grant.
Run
What do you
with
have in mind? Yeah, go for
if
it.
you apply to the grant, do you need to have a project? Does it have to be project specific to even apply?
There's categories and it's gotta be shovel ready. You have to, you know, do.
So
the
they
money
want you to
grant
know
stuff.
what you're gonna do.
Yeah,
You have to explain what permits you need,
Okay,
all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even like police could file for it. I mean, it was pretty broad
Yeah,
in terms of what it could do for different groups. So
Mhm.
I have that, like, dynamic with us and our abilities for COVID money and for the green spaces, so. Green communities grant has really been just amazing for us.
That's good. I'm glad.
So we have, with the police station, so through Brian's efforts, we have. We do all the installations that are.
Mhm.
We have brand new, it's brand new lighting, air conditioning, heat.
Mhm.
And I have two cars that we were able to get, recently for $5,000 each, so which was $10,000. So I would suggest that our communities was probably $50,000.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, so.
That's
and again,
great.
like, through Brian's efforts and to create this, like we worked together, but like Brian was like, I was confused, like it was really hard. But,
Does
Yeah,
that
there's
money
something-
replenish itself, or is that a once and done?
So the first one is a gift, right? They just give it to you. So it was like 120,000. And then after that, once you gotta use up your 120, and then you can compete for additional money every year. So
Yeah, every year you can.
What's and the competition is based on what? What's
the other municipalities that apply, and then, so they're gonna look at the most return on their investment in terms of energy savings. is gonna be what puts you.
So Roger, so you just recently sent out the request for us for the capital.
Yeah.
And so I would say, like, for the capital, like, the only thing I had in my capital was air conditioning and now through the green communities, that's done.
Mhm.
And the only other thing I had on there was our speed trailer, which the residents have definitely been aggressive on requesting.
Yeah,
But whoever bought the property from the Millers, definitely, I have a company working that, they're looking to give us money to take care of it.
really?
The people that bought that property are gonna give us money to what, fix the speed trailer?
Yeah, yeah. So I have to tell you, like, in the last year, the amount of money we've taken through that sort of services, it's. $40,000.
People are giving you money?
People have given me $40,000.
Wow.
So I was able to buy every officer a taser, which ended up being like 15,500. But they were looking at and give us all that.
Mhm.
This guy named Dennis Alsop,
Oh, yeah. Mr. Lawson.
literally gave us 22,000. We painted the entire upstairs of the building. We replaced all of our furniture. We changed the carpet downstairs. We were able to do our water remediation. Outside of our budget, like.
That's fantastic.
And then actually outside of that, so my sergeant, Nick Papa Giorgio's sister, whose husband is a plastic surgeon in Florida, they just sent us some money as well.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you take that money in? Was it going to the general
We came
fund?
through a foundation, so I have a real estate foundation,
Mm.
which is outside the scope of the town.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we have the capacity to entail and take that money in. And of course, we have to be very careful how we spend it. And we are like, we always spend it in the way that is, careful, like building improvement or things for the officers or whatever it is that who's ever doing the money has requested it to be spent on. So an example of that is when Mr. Hanson gave us the $15,000 for the agents, it's like, yo, your officers don't have their own person. I'm like, no. And you have that's the one. He's like,
You
well,
had one, and we handed it around.
Yeah.
and he says, that's wrong. What do you do? And so he literally gave me $50,000. And his specific request was to
For
ensure
those.
that every officer had this.
Yeah, he's a good man. I know Rick. Yeah,
Yeah, I know you don't.
Yeah.
That's Rick from Vesper, right?
yeah, yeah.
So Rick has, and Rick is this, he's an amazing gentleman. He actually created the foundation for us.
Mhm.
Just a good man.
Yeah.
I remember that. Jim Downs put that foundation together, didn't he? Was that you?
It was after that.
I remember putting that together. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And, but Rick said, so Mr. Hanson actually owns, he was the biggest part of the Budweiser distribution on the Northeast. And now he owns, I heard of Hammer and Sickle.
His son started that Hammer and
Yeah,
Sickle. Yeah.
who
His son
unfortunately
passed away, yeah.
So he owns Hammer and Sickle vodka, Hammer and Sickle cigars and all those
Yeah.
things, but he lives in Hollis, he comes to town all the time, and he loves to have breakfast.
Yes.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had one other
Right.
one from a neighbor. She asked about land parcels within cul-de-sacs that she imagines are too busy for highway to come in and mow. It's supposed to be mowed twice a year. And she's pointing out the one on my street, so I'm only saying this with her lens, that it hasn't been mowed in like 3 or 4 years, in her
like the
opinion.
center circle of the cul-de-sac?
No, so like coming up the street, it's what's called parcel A, so it's between Officer Tully's house or Sergeant Tully, I'm not sure. Yeah, Officer Tully, and like there's a drainage pit there where all the water runoff
Yeah.
drains in the natural swell, and there's a house. It's the
Mm.
White House with the brick facade, so all that's super overgrown. And
Is it owned by us?
it is owned by the town. So what she's asking for is, can the association, not just for Alexander Way, but also like Chapman Street, Bear Hill, Kimberly, Brittany, can they take responsibility for these areas to clean them up, mow them out?
Do they have there's not homeowners associations with these?
Well, all these streets out of HOA, like HOA associations.
They do?
Yeah,
Isn't this
Hmm.
interesting? I'm gonna tell you those, because not only do I live here, I don't know why, but every part of this town is a little piece of my life. So we have a gentleman who literally mows our lawn,
Mhm.
right? And we have people that actually complain about him. He turns the sprinklers on, he put Mitch, he's currently in litigation with the town, I'm sure, and sure is part of one of their executive sessions and whatever.
Oh,
Right now,
I don't know about that.
isn't it?
yes.
So, this is a man who donates his time through complaints. He does this, and he does the one down on North Main Street and Depot Street in front of the Simmonses. And here we are. So Kieran, I so love you asked for somebody to have that ability to take care of that, because I do think that that's a responsible thing to do. I'm only the police chief. But I'm gonna tell you, as a resident, I make these observations and I see this gentleman that does that, and I gotta tell you, I always stop and like, hey Mitch, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So
And people are like, who's this guy that cuts the grass out there?
it's a volunteer.
It's like,
It's a volunteer.
I shook my
Yeah.
face in my hands and I'm like, well, it's not you. Would you
Yeah.
prefer mine?
It's only 100 degrees
I'm
today.
I'm happy to allow you to do that. I can $15 on the gas.
That's right. So those technically, yeah,
It's more of a planning board issue is my guess, but
Yeah, so
I
I wonder,
Do you want me to leave or keep telling you guys stories?
not too many stories, we are trying to have a shorter.
yeah, we told him he'd be home before dark.
But, I mean, so do these parcels have drainage infrastructure on them to support the stormwater?
they do.
So those should be maintained.
It
And
should,
technically, and if we had a DPW, then they would.
they would. But
So Lee, that's a whole other story, right?
Yeah.
so I,
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that I cut, so
Make your
the-
governance.
Yes.
it's like wild parsnip and like goldenrod that's all over the place, and I'm fine with the flowers, but the growth that comes so close, that so when you're coming up the curve of our street, you can't see people coming down walking their dogs. finally I just said, screw it, I'm gonna mow 2 feet in.
Mhm.
Because I was one of those people that it was
Yeah.
dusk and someone was walking the dog as they should, coming up against traffic. I didn't see him, so I swerved out of the way.
Yeah,
But it should be cut. And according to the association documents, which were notarized in the town by the town, it says it'll be cut twice a year. To which these folks have said it is not. And I know the people on Chapman Street feel similarly, because I do a lot of business up there, so.
so when that mower goes through town, are they not, they're not cutting that back enough?
I've seen them in there once, but I've lived
Yeah.
on the street for almost 6 years now.
Yeah, so they weren't part of the Cataldo maintenance contract. That wasn't
Okay,
included when we did it, because it wasn't on our radar. You know, if I asked Highway to do it, it'd probably get thrown back. if it was-
Well, I'm not sure Highway's gonna mow
I
it.
don't know if they-
Yeah, I mean, there is some
But it should be
angles.
subbed
and
out, I
it
mean-
is sort of a funky angle.
But I mean, we can just put it all together as a package and get prices and make sure it gets done twice a year.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, we'd have to subcontract.
We'll have to
obviously.
start
Yeah.
budgeting money, you know, more money in our stormwater account,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Or would you
We get
rather
those-
just,
Money there now.
yeah, or could you just empower the streets that have an association to take responsibility for it within the deed,
But who's gonna pay for it?
the association? Or it's done at the association's behest, so they do it on their own time and their own.
But if
scale.
it's supposed to be, the town has the obligation. I mean, not that I,
Yeah, I agree with,
Yeah.
I
I
agree.
mean, if they want to go back to the planning board and just amend their decision, so to see that. I mean, that's. Sometimes it is the HOA's responsibility. to-
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
maintain the
we'd have
stormwater
to
infrastructure.
check that.
How do you have an
Mhm.
HOA? Do you have pay dues?
Yeah,
You do.
yeah,
Who's the-
we have to
who's-
maintain the front entryway as a
Who's
responsibility.
who's got custody of you? A president, a treasurer and all
Yeah,
that?
we have a president, we have a secretary, and we have a vice president.
And is that true for like Bear Hill and these others as
Yeah,
well?
Bear Hill, Chapman Street, Brittany Lane has one. I can give you Woodland Drive, I think has one. But I
Those are
don't know if
public
Woodland Drive.
streets, right?
Brittany Lane, that's part of a huge subdivision.
Yeah, it's a massive one.
Isn't
It
it?
has 5 or 6 houses on it. Yeah, it has an HOA. off it.
The whole subdivision, the whole Adam Street subdivision, or
I think it's just Brittany Lane.
Just
and
Brittany
it's
Lane has-
6 or 7 houses in there.
really?
Because if they have like a little centerpiece where there's a tree, the responsibility is not on one property owner, it's on the street.
Hmm.
Technically, it could have been written in that it's responsibility of the town, but I doubt the town would allow that. 'Cause that's maintenance. Yeah, $200
Yeah,
a year.
that's the first time I've ever heard.
Well,
Yeah.
like if you come up our street, it's all mulched and like there's holly bushes and everything in there. And then they keep the rocks clear
Hmm.
up along there.
Well, and plus you guys have the water structure there as well, right?
Yeah, the pond. That was a huge issue. That was supposed to be on one neighbor's side, but didn't end up over there. And now he has other problems with that.
What pump? Pump
It's
for
not, it's a
what?
pond.
Well, they have like a tank.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're some kind of
Oh, yeah,
stormwater pump.
we have the fire what cistern there or something.
Yeah, cistern.
Yeah, so we're supposed to be responsible for paying to have the fire department come and paint that.
Painted?
Yeah, because once the red paint wears off, it's supposed to be at a certain,
Who puts the water in it?
It's always substantive, right? It's just
Yeah.
always there.
yeah, I've never really seen the.
Who checks it?
Fire department
That's a
check,
great question.
the
Well,
fire
is it-
department does check it. They check it a couple times a year, yeah.
Is it the one up on Chapman Street's got a gauge on it?
Yeah, ours does too.
Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, it says like no parking in front of it and stuff.
But it needs to get, if that cistern leaks, right?
Mhm.
Someone's gotta fill that. It doesn't auto fill on its own.
I don't think so, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know a
it's
lot
gotta
about the
get filled
engineering. but
by the fire department when they get dump water in the thing, keep it full.
They check it a couple times a year. We've seen them go up and pull the manhole off, but like we do the weed whacking around the rocks that are in that parking area. But
Wow.
it's probably DPW type. work. Just sharing the
Well,
message from the neighbors. I can
I'm
say
sure-
it's on
I'm
record,
sure-
now it's on camera. I can say I said it.
I think Brian's suggestion is, we gotta make a package to the town to
Have it maintained.
subcontract it out to, I
And,
mean, we should probably find out if all these, who is ultimately responsible, because sometimes it is the association's responsibility, and sometimes they pass it, once the town accepts the street, usually the maintenance of the infrastructure goes with it.
Yeah, this is
But-
town property, so I clicked on
Okay.
it a couple
I
hours
mean,
ago.
Once it was accepted as.
Just for starters, I could just ask Aldo to drive around, give me a price.
That's true,
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, we'll have an idea.
Okay,
I don't think that HOA, this is my legal speak, can cut that, can be charged with cutting that grass without some sort of liability if the mower tips over or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
agree.
So I think if the town's supposed to do this and the planning board signed off on it, then I think you gotta get
Yeah, with the
MJ to
price.
go in with a tall grass mower and take a, I don't think the highway department has got the equipment or the time to do it.
Yeah, and ultimately, our road commission group accepted the road and made it. So,
Mhm.
Well, let's accept the responsibility to. Yeah, once we own this public way, right?
Right,
It's like snow plowing. Same thing, we own it.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, let me see what it's gonna cost.
Okay.
And we'll probably end up doing it.
would be like that and like
Yeah.
clearing out conservation trail entrances, like that's tough on the backside of Alexander Way. It's all overgrown in there. I don't know if that's something that's come up in conservation world, but
No,
and putting gravel down, like it's like almost like a maintenance project for town-owned parcels that are sometimes forgotten about.
well, yeah, there's so much.
Right, there's tons of it.
So how many do we know of? Fair.
Bear Hill, Chapman, Alexander,
That's right.
In Brittany,
Brittany,
Brittany have an area like that?
And
they do. I think they have a center circle, if I remember correctly. I can drive around and tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bear Hill, Chapman, Alexander,
Brittany.
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 And any street that's gonna have a cistern or has a natural swale for drainage, it's gonna have this issue. Because they have to have a retention pond, which is what it's between the Fiella residents and the Tully residents is a big, it's a natural retention pond where all the water sits and naturally drains away. Sure. And that's where all the growth is. So.
Yeah. well,
Isn't
any
there a
of these
retention
are
pond on
supposed to be maintained.
Skytop?
Yeah. Yeah, or at the bottom, towards the bottom of Skytop, I think, right? Isn't there one up?
So is the one on Skytop actually a pond?
Yes.
So it's a pond.
Oh, is that a pond? Because we've
It's actually
drafted
a
off
pond,
of
yeah.
it a few
So I
times.
think what happens is they literally, as you come in, there's a
On
home
the
on the
left.
left.
Yeah.
And as you continue down, there's that entire pond on the left, which was the water we used to use
To
to create
mix.
this little area.
Yeah,
Oh, so it probably doesn't need to be maintained.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
no, you're not supposed to be in there. It's a wetland resource area.
There's beautiful fish in there, but.
Yeah.
I can drive around too.
Yeah, I can
Look it
picture,
up.
I can
in real
picture it
estate.
sitting downstairs too. She probably knows.
Yeah.
That's all I have for pestering.
One thing I have, there was a, was put together by Pepperell Board of Selectmen for a climate change forum. I went to one of the meetings, what's all been virtual. So they're trying to put together some sort of regional climate change group, which I'm happy to be part of. It's sort of my avenue of things. So just to let everybody know, they were going to put together just sort of a plan of what they want to accomplish through doing this and sort of a draft mission statement. So hopefully we'll have that just to present to you guys at some point in the future. We just wanted to let you know that's just something I've been sort of around the edge. We've had Senator Kennedy there and Lori Trahan here and talk about stuff. So this, anything we can possibly do to try to start climate resiliency in these surrounding towns and maybe get some power to work with the state.
I would suggest that, not
So-
a member of the board, but
Yeah.
like July was the hottest month in history since we have.
Been recording it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And with that said, not much July, just a quick note. So Pembroke PD lost an officer, one of the lieutenants died on duty.
I heard, saw
passed away,
that.
yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
So we as an organization were so fortunate and so blessed to have the ability to support their department, to cover their town. And we went to their wake on Friday night and we were able to send a contingent of multiple officers there. And the funeral was private, but it being private, we were specifically invited because of the family and knowing that Dustin was so close to this officer. So Saturday morning, myself and multiple officers, again, were invited to this funeral and attended. It was really really amazing.
Yeah.
We were blessed to have the ability to, we were really having a situation, some different.
Imagine.
Over there, we were able to control the traffic.
It's good, yeah, so that's too bad. Good. Okay, Ron, anything?
No, I'm good.
No, okay. We have two sets of minutes, July 22nd and 27th. Your motion to approve,
I'm okay with them, so I'll motion to approve as provided.
Second.
okay. Further discussion? None, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anything else to report on before we go into executive session?
You know, in the interest of keeping the meeting short, I'll send you guys an email with the highlights.
Okay,
And so my only question is, do we want to follow up with Sheila Harrington and have it to a meeting?
Yeah,
yes,
Or do we feel like that's a lost cause?
no,
no,
she
She
needs to
should.
come to a meeting.
See if she answers.
All right, so I'll shoot for the next meeting.
The State House is closed because I've
Yeah.
tried to go in a couple times and I can't get in.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it's locked up. I couldn't get in either. Her office was,
Just a quick note, Board of Health meeting, probably like 10 minutes, and there, Maria had reached out to me to talk about like mask mandates.
Mhm.
Any thoughts before I talk to them? Because I know you guys are doing executive session.
My understanding is they're just, they're taking a vote to validate the Madison Public Building Order.
All right, so
Okay.
I know you guys went in your session, so I'm gonna do them quickly. Okay.
All right,
Thanks, Chief.
thanks, Chief. Okay, that being it, we will close the public meeting and we're going to enter into executive session. We will not be returning back to the public forum. So, is there a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, great. Thank you and good night.
Larry King says that too.